Welcome back to another episode of the Cast Patrol podcast. You're joined as always by myself, Mick, Jimmy, and Age. We're fresh off a huge week in rugby league, maybe one of the best rounds of all time, to say.
I think so. Every single game was in the balance except Storm Tigers, 64-0.
Oh, smashing.
From Friday to the Saturday first game, there were 3 massive comebacks, which were just insane.
Well, you probably thought at halftime, they're going to run away with it. But
They're done, yeah. Especially the Raiders one, 20-0 up, and the Dogs just went bang, 32 unanswered points.
Well, we got a huge episode in store. We're going to go through all the chaos of round 10. We're going to go through our origin teams, New South Wales, Queensland, and of course, we're going to give our preview for round 11. Some more big
teams
fixtures.
are getting picked this Sunday, is it?
Yep.
Origin?
Yep.
So we're going to go through what we think should be picked, not necessarily what Laurie and Slater will pick. And
Our team.
Our team.
Yeah.
If we were the coaches.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get straight into round 10. Knights beating the Titans. Sorry, Titans beating the Knights.
That's what you thought.
That's what I thought. Well, it had on the
Well, they
script.
should have. It was half time.
20-6 half time.
Knights played so bad in that second half. It was awful.
Yeah.
Absolutely awful. But credit to the Titans. They finally got another win. They beat Knights in round 3, so they beat them again. And they've only beat one other team. So
Probably just sums up Knights' season at the moment, isn't it?
yeah,
Just the way they're going.
it was pretty bad. If you're a
That
Knights
first
fan.
half, mate, they just were scoring for fun.
But they should have scored more points with the amount of ball they had early. They had so many consecutive penalties.
Yeah.
And then once it switched to the Titans, they had no answers.
How long left for O'Brien?
There's not long.
Well, there's already
not long left.
whispers that he was on the way out for Brad Arthur. So
They're currently 14th
Moment
with
of
3
time.
wins. Ponga goes to Origin.
Yeah.
Marzu's out for 4 weeks. It's going to be tough.
doesn't help their cause.
Yeah, Marzu's out as well.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're
There's
at.
some bright lights like Fletcher Sharp, Dylan Lucas.
Yeah, they've been good.
But
Best.
overall, it's not great.
Yeah.
It is not great.
Problem is every year they make that run into finals. It sort of saves their season and gives
Saves
them,
O'Brien's.
saves essentially. And
job.
then they just haven't improved year on year. They just sort of sit at that 8th, 9th, but then now they've gone really far back. I think it's a telling sign.
Yeah.
One team that has gone a little bit back in recent weeks, the Broncos. Again, 14-0 up at halftime to my team, the Rabbitohs, wearing the jersey here. And then just, I don't know what happened. South either flicked a switch or Broncos went the other way.
You
Because
can't really pick the Broncos because they beat Bulldogs in crazy fashion in the wet. And then they got dominated by Panthers in Magic Round. And they come out 14-0 South and don't score a point in the second half.
Very inconsistent. I don't know what's going on.
What is doing?
Like,
The only thing I can put my finger on is Hunt and Reynolds. They clash. They're both directional halves. So it'll be interesting to see Ezra Mam in the 6th this week. Hunt is injured, so it gives them a chance.
Maybe,
It might just look a bit... It might complement the team a bit better.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show as well Walsh, like how big of a loss Walsh has been.
Yeah, Cobbo had that good game against Dogs at fullback.
Yeah, he did.
But then obviously
But
his
then
ball playing's
he's been now
not
like-
the same.
Just their attack hasn't been the same.
Yeah, they do need Walsh back.
So
just
And
felt
maybe Hunt at 9 when he
Yeah.
comes back.
I don't know. Like you said, Hunt and Reynolds aren't working. They're just they're both the same sort of player, and it's just not working.
But credit has to go to Latrell Mitchell with that
100%.
2-point field goal.
Oh, mate.
That was a monster boot. It would have gone in beyond the 50.
he's
Without
It's
that, they could have won the game.
close to one of the greatest field goals of all time. In the wet from 49 meters.
He was just casual, just slots it and then
Yeah.
sweet.
I was at a birthday and it was 14-0. I was checking the score. I'm like, okay, that's it. Done. Had a few more drinks, had dinner. And I refreshed the app. 14-0. I was like, what the fuck?
What's going on?
8 minutes ago, I got it up on my phone. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
get off your phone. I'm like, no, sorry. 14-0. I got to watch this.
Yeah.
And that field goal was doozy. I was going off my head. But yeah.
What do you think of the try from Trell at the end there?
I can see why people would be upset, but at the same time,
Play on a penalty.
you got to play to the ref's whistle. It's the
correct.
number one rule that you're taught from junior footy up. Play to the ref's whistle, and you have to do it.
It did have one knee down.
It
to
wasn't
sort of
in the
like
spirit of the
surrender.
game, was it? Like, the thing is, I think about it, like, if Trell went on one knee and then Billy Walters comes and absolutely launches at him and smashes him,
Yeah.
then everyone's like, oh, it's a dog shot, you know? So I feel like the game was
Can go
over.
both ways.
It was a bit dirty, but I did say it watching. I'm like, he's going to go. He's going to go himself.
To be fair, they didn't
like,
even-
if I was thinking it, surely the players there just like...
They didn't even make an
Put a
effort.
hand on him, you
Put
know?
a hand, exactly. Put
You don't have
anything
to
on
smash
him.
him, just put a hand on him. So,
Tackle him, just end the game.
yeah, I think Trell just... He couldn't
love it.
resist.
He
could
couldn't
not
resist.
resist.
I wouldn't resist
Yeah,
either.
it is pretty cast, though.
It just goes to show that when Trell's at his best, he's close to one of the best players.
It's just good for rugby league. When Trell's on, like the game's so much better.
We just need more of it more consistently. That's all I ask. And in the big times, hopefully around finals time.
Doesn't help he's going to Origin. He'll probably get picked. We'll talk about it later, but it's going to be a big loss when he goes off to Origin. Another one, Raiders 20-0 at halftime. You're thinking, Raiders are the real deal. Broncos, they can't beat any good team. Oh, sorry, the Bulldogs can't beat any good team.
$59 at halftime for Bulldogs to win. That was the odds. They were the live odds.
Gnarly.
How on earth did they get 32 straight points?
Hey.
That right edge, or the doggies right and Canberra left got torched.
Yeah, that Critter just turned it on that second half. But if we just look at that first 40 minutes, Raiders were running downhill.
Yep.
At home,
Bulldogs had no answer.
It was pretty much game over.
Bulldogs had no answer.
No.
So I don't know what they were doing in that first half. And then you flip the switch, second half, it's a complete opposite.
Yeah,
Dogs running downhill.
That one side of the field got 52 straight points.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
That one side won 52-0.
Dogs played the exact same way they did when they got towed up by the Broncos, where just a shocking start and then second half, they just came full steam blazing. And I think it almost worked against the Broncos, but they were too far behind. But against Raiders, 20 points almost. Right. It went out the window within the first
20
10
minutes. It was
It's 20. A brave win. The
brave
brave Bulldogs, gutsy effort, because any other team and even coach would have had their heads down at half time. But it seems like Cyril was really level-headed, calm, and just gave them confidence. And once they started that roll, the momentum just kept going.
Yeah.
It was almost like they could win 13+ here. Like, they were dominant in that.
I bet Salmon's try celebration.
Weak gutted
That
dog.
was good. Weak gutted
Come on,
dog.
eh?
And then to his own karma, he injured his ankle for 10
Then he
weeks.
got done.
Well, there's no need for him to bring it back up, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I thought he left it in the past, but whatever.
Yeah,
It's good for the game,
I
though.
feel like he had that in his head. Like, if I score in Canberra
good
against
gear.
Ricky, who obviously gave it to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
I love it.
He's a character.
And then the Panthers, 18-12 at half time. They got up to 30-18 lead.
10 minutes to go.
And how did you boys come
I
back,
don't
Jimmy?
know. I mean, we were together on Saturday night. We didn't really catch a lot of the game, but we sort of caught that last sort of 10 minutes. And, I don't know how we pulled it out. Like that left edge did and Purdue drinky out the back. That's going to become a lethal combination.
Yeah, and it's interesting now. Purdue's gone to the 6.
Yep.
So he might go. He's gone the right side of the field.
I don't know. I think maybe Dearden might push over to the
Does
right.
Dearden move for Purdue?
Do you like that combination? Do you think that's the
Did you see it coming?
I didn't see it coming, but look, maybe Toddy saw something else in Clifford that no one else saw. But I thought Clifford.
Didn't he score one of your tries?
He did.
To get you going?
I think it's pretty. I thought it was stiff, but again, I mean, I'm sure there's some other things that's happening behind the scenes. But
Has Labert been killing it in Cup?
that's also like a potential, why they're doing the switch. But I think Purdue's best position is probably not at centre. So I think, he was in the race to play halfback at the start of the year. So it'd be interesting. I think it's a good move. I think Dearden, I don't think it would change too much to how he plays. I think he would just play the same way.
Yeah, he's all heart. He'll just run. Have to probably kick a bit more.
Yeah. But it was a good comeback. Like game of the round. Like I haven't seen a draw in a long time in the NRL.
Yeah.
Like after extra time, 30 all.
I think for you guys, you're cheering about the draw, but Panthers, that's one that let slip.
Oh mate, the one that
And it might cost
the one
him.
when Kenny ran.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Why did they run
I
there?
don't know what was going
He copped a
on.
lot of abuse on social media, which is never on.
Do you think he missed the call?
But it was last tackle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Did
Like,
a
do you reckon
Marcus
maybe he
shoot or
missed it? It was
something?
last.
Oh,
Yeah,
Who
it's
knows?
probably one he wants back. But yeah, it might cost the Panthers down the run because they don't have many wins, and 1 point could be the difference between 9th and 8th. So yeah, that could prove costly.
We were saying the whole time as well, like Panthers need to start getting wins before Origin comes around. And like it sort of hasn't happened.
what are they? 3 wins.
It's not much.
How many Origin players will they have? How about we discuss that now? Let's do our Origin teams.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So the best way I
there
think we
might
do
be a
this
few.
is we'll do them in lots. We'll do like our backs, we'll do our forwards, and maybe a bench, and we can discuss
Yeah.
why we've done
So
that.
do we start with the better team, the one that won the series last year?
I think so.
New South Wales Blues.
You'd
Is that
have to
okay with you,
assume
Jimmy?
so.
Yeah.
That's fine. Winners start. All right, Age, take us through your back 7.
Okay, this is going to surprise people. I'm going with the informed Papenhuyzen fullback.
Huge.
Leading try scorer, leading point
Wow.
scorer. I feel like the new era is coming through. He's 26 years old. Edwards is 29. Teddy's 32. So I wouldn't want to go backwards
Yeah.
with Teddy. But I'm happy to go with the form Papenhuyzen. because I don't want him to be on the bench. There's no use. Brian To'o and Lomax are my wings. So I'm going for run meters, yardage, and they've done the job. And then Stephen Crichton and Latrell Mitchell in the centres.
Okay.
I'm leaving Turbo out because I don't think he's fully fit and he hasn't been in great form. And we go on 6 or 7 or just back 5?
We'll go back 5.
Back 5. So, yeah, that's my back 5.
Jim, your back 5?
My back 5. So fullback, I've gone Tedesco. And I know people might think, you're probably winding back the clock a bit. If you pick Tedesco...
Like, he's getting on. He's 32 years old.
He's getting on. He's 32. But I feel like he's probably the informed fullback for New South Wales at the moment, bar Papenhuyzen.
Yeah.
Like, he's 32, but he's playing so well.
He's still doing a great job, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think you put him in that side. Like, if you guys want to win, then you put your best team on paper. So I've gone Teddy fullback. Tot and Lomax on the wings. I think they pick themselves. Crichton and Latrell similar to your age in terms of the wingers and the centres. I think at the moment you probably can't justify picking Turbo just the way he's playing at the moment.
I think I like your back 5. That's probably the safe. That's probably what Laurie Daly will pick. But we're not doing predicted. And I do like Edwards as well, don't get me wrong. But he hasn't been great this year.
I don't think Edwards... Has he been in his best form?
And he had a few injuries, which is lingered. So I just think I'm going with speed. I'm going with speed with Paps. But I do like Edwards. What are you going to do? Sorry, you did Teddy.
Yeah, I went Teddy.
Oh, no, I don't think Laurie will pick that. Sorry.
No, I think, Laurie will go Edwards. I think Edwards, he had a really good series last year when he came in, those 2 games. Only thing is, it's a whole new coach, so you just don't know what Laurie will do. But I think Edwards has done enough to be the incumbent. I think Teddy's, fortunately, if he doesn't get picked for game 1, he won't get picked again. Like that ship sailed now.
Next year he's 33. He's not getting younger, so it's probably now or never for him.
The only change that I have is so obviously To'o, Crichton and Mitchell. I think they're almost locks to play, barring injuries this weekend. And number 5, instead of Lomax, I'm actually going Karaz.
I do
to make his debut.
I do like that.
Only thing with Lomax, it's his first game back this week, and I feel like Karaz has actually been outperforming him in terms of whatever Lomax has done this year.
Choice change if Lomax comes back, scores a Hattie, 250 run meters?
Yeah, probably. I'd have to say so. But in terms of what Kiraz has done the last few weeks,
he's been
and especially
unreal. Kiraz.
I feel like there's that extra benefit that you can play Critter on the right and Kiraz on the right, so you get that connection instantly.
Dogs connection,
and they've been. If you watch the Dogs, their points have all been coming through the right edge. So it's one. It's a risk for the halves. We'll go through them now. I've got Moses and Cleary. At the start of the year, I had Luai and Cleary, especially with Moses being out for so long. But in terms of what I've seen from Luai, I think 2 try assists in however many games he's played for the Tigers. Yeah. He's been playing halfback. Is that connection with Cleary there still? So I'm going Moses.
Yeah, I've gone Moses and Cleary as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people say, can you pick 2 halfbacks? But, I think Moses can slot in at 6 and will be no issues.
I think what you saw with Moses at Game 3 last year, where he just stepped up and just took the game in his own hands, you sort of have to pick him in terms of what he did. I mean, Luai played great too, but you're not getting rid of him.
I think the thing that's not in Moses' favour is Parra hasn't been going well.
Yeah.
No.
That's probably the...
And neither have Panthers and neither have Tigers.
Well, yeah.
True.
It's kind of grim for all the halves.
Yeah, true.
Which kind of works in Cleary's favour because...
Cleary's getting picked.
He's the best 7 in the comp.
The best player in the comp.
I think you got to pick Cleary regardless.
Yeah, on his day, he's the best player in the comp.
Yeah.
So I think he picks himself at 7. And then I saw an interview where Moses was speaking to Gus, and he was like, I'm happy, I'm excited to play 6 to Cleary if it given the chance. Because it gives him an opportunity to take a step back, take his chances.
It gives him the opportunity
he doesn't have to control the game.
Run the game. Run the ball.
Yeah, instead of running the game in the team, he gets to run the ball whenever he wants.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way they'll pick it. That's what I would pick. And with 2 amazing boots like that, we're blessed as New South Wales fans. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah. No, it's a good call. It's a good call.
The pack now, Haas, we're all going Haas.
Yeah,
straight in.
Haas is 8.
Robson at hooker.
I was tempted to go Appy, but Robbo's safe. He did.
Robbo's an Origin player. He's just in the middle.
Tough.
He's going to make.
We spoke about the
his
hookers and their form, and I think Robbo's sort of gone up, whilst the others either gone flat or just down.
Robbo didn't start great, but the last month he's been better.
Since Cows have been in form, he's been a lot better.
Yeah, and then his running game's starting to come off the back of it.
It's like the UFC, to beat the champion. To be the champion, you got to beat the champion, and the hookers haven't really stepped up.
Yeah.
Starling and Wigan probably the next best, but not.
And what about our 10? Who have you guys
I've gone May. Terrell May, I think, is set to make his debut. It was a toss-up. I can see you got Barnett there.
Yeah,
So,
I started with Barnett. Like, I just like the enforcers starting the game because he's a tough motherfucker, Barnett. So I want to start strong with my enforcer.
Yeah.
And then May can come on with he can play the rest of the game once he's on if he had to.
Yeah. I've got May just only the fact that I think he's probably not impactful off the bench. I think you just start him and you just leave him out there for as long as you want.
Barnett also offers impact, so I see where you're coming from.
I think May sort of works himself into a game. Like you saw when he came off the bench for Roosters last year, it just wasn't as much of an impact when he started, or like Spencer does off the bench. So
I feel like he
May.
could offer impact with those offloads in second phase. So I don't.
Yeah.
I can see it working both ways. I don't know what Laurie will do, but I think that they should both be in the team.
Yeah.
Barnett and May.
The back row, who have you gone?
I've gone Gus Crichton,
Left edge.
Yeah. Picks himself. I think he's been in good form this year, and we saw what he did last year, won the Wally Lewis medal. And Liam Martin on the right. He grows a leg in Origin, so you got to pick him.
Yeah, Liam Martin's a big game player.
Yeah.
We saw what he did in the grand final, what he's done for Origin. He's my right edge. And left edge, I'm going Hudson Young. I think he's the informed second row of the comp. And I want try scorers. That's why I've gone Pappy. I'm gonna go Huddy just for his sheer strength on that edge.
I've gone Crichton and Martin as well, Jim. Don't change it. It worked last year. And Yo at lock, I think.
Yeah.
Without Murray, Yo picks himself.
No one's contesting Yo. Let's talk about the bench. Watson at 14. Is he pretty much locked into?
Would you boys do Pappy on the bench, or do you think it's a waste?
I think it's a waste because I think he only plays fullback, right? So if you put him at 14, it's sort of a waste.
So it's literally fullback or nothing for Paps?
Yeah, I think so.
Or
I feel like
18,
because you got Mitchell in the centres there, that if, let's say, Edwards does go down, you can easily play Mitchell at fullback and work around.
Hear me out. This is wild, but I noticed no one has Turbo on their starting 13. Is he a 14 chance? Because he covers fullback, wing, centre.
No.
Or
I just don't think he's going well that you pick him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's fully fit
Yeah.
to risk that.
Yeah.
I think
Connor
so.
Watson does play every position, so it's
Connor
a
Watson's an absolute
no-brainer.
gun.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
you have him at 14.
Yeah.
Especially take the minutes off Robson if need be.
Yeah. And then I've gone May on my bench.
I've got
Mick,
Barnett.
Mick, you've done Barnett, and Jimmy, you've done Barnett. And we've all done Lenu off the bench.
Yeah.
Offers the greatest impact
got
from
the
any
mongrel.
bench
I think
forward.
so.
Yeah.
His
and-
club form hasn't been amazing,
Nah.
but I feel like his series last year warrants a selection.
Queenslanders hate him. He hates Queensland.
Yep.
He'll get picked.
He's getting picked.
And then, I've gone Huddy Young.
And I've done Crichton.
See, I've left out Hudson Young. I know it's a bit of a
Wow.
shock. I've gone Olakau'atu.
Yeah.
I just feel like he brings a lot more off the bench. I love Hudson Young and everything he does, but I feel like if you're going to play him, you got to start him.
Yeah.
I feel like he's had his chance off the bench and it wasn't the best. And I feel like Olak just brings a bit more of a punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Huddy. That's why I'm starting him. But yeah, I do see your point. Olak is damaging. So.
Yeah, he is.
All right, well, that's the New South Wales team. Jimmy, do you want to start the Queensland team off for us?
Yeah, we'll go the back five for Queensland. I think, barring any surprises, I think this. Would you say it's clear cut?
Is this Jimmy Slater speaking here?
I feel like you don't have too many people knocking down the door.
Yeah.
Well, Walsh is now injured. So that
Walsh
makes
is injured.
Then Ponga just automatically gets picked now, right?
Correct. So Ponga fullback, I've gone Coates and Talangi on the wings, and then Holmes and Hammer in the centres, which I think picks
Holmes
itself.
left centre?
No,
does
Holmes,
Hammer go left?
Hammer left centre, Holmes right centre.
Okay.
Yep, I've gotten that exact back five.
Yeah.
I've done the same, but I've left Talangi out. I've gone Cobbo.
Yep.
I love Cobbo as a
Yeah.
player, and he's I think he'll be a future staple in that Queensland
Maybe
team.
at the start of the year, but Talangi's form recently
He's been
has
really
been
good. And he's been
red hot.
scoring tries.
Yeah.
He's been
fun.
finishing well. I just think he's a bit slow. I don't know. That's the only knock on him. I think he's lost a bit of pace, but
Yeah,
he's
but he's a big
he's
body,
solid in
though.
defence usually.
Yeah, good in defence, big
And he's
body.
a big body
like,
coming
good
out your own end,
yardage.
which is similar to Cobbo. So, yeah, I'm happy either way there.
And the halves, Munster, DCE. Is there
Yeah.
any?
Yeah. Dearden's time will come.
Yeah.
Dearden and Sam Walker's time will come.
They will come. Give it a few years. But yeah, DCE, Munster.
Yeah,
And then
Money played great last week.
forwards, so props, Carrigan, Cotter, Hooker, Harry Grant.
I've got the same.
I've got the exact same three.
Yeah.
I mean, you could easily do like Tino there and shift someone down, but
Yeah.
let's just say
You
those
could
three.
put you could put Tino there or Horsburgh. He's a smoky start.
Horsburgh as
I was
well,
thinking
yeah.
horse.
Yeah, I was gonna start him. I was tempted because
Yeah.
Cotter hasn't played. His first game back is gonna be
His
Origin.
first game back will be
He's
Origin,
suspended
yeah.
right now, right?
Yeah. Well, Harry
So-
Grant, he's named this week, I know, on the reserves, but
Yeah,
He'll
I
probably
feel
wanna
he'll
get a
have-
game.
He'll play.
before.
If Grant, let's say, doesn't play Origin, who goes to your hooker? Is it
Reed Marnie.
Marnie or is it Dearden?
I wouldn't put Dearden.
I don't think
hooker.
Dearden will play hooker. I'm just trying to think.
Is there another Queensland hooker? If Plath was available, I wouldn't mind Plath.
If Plath was available, yeah, he's probably. But yeah,
He's not
I think it's
available.
Marnie.
you probably go Reid
Probably
Marnie.
go Reid. Reid's next in line.
Back row, I've gone Firma to debut and then Nanai on the right.
So you've gone for like a bit of flair, a bit of try scoring ability.
Yep, so Firma left.
I think Firma's going to debut. He's been probably there for the form second row for Queensland. And
Yep.
I don't mind Gilbert. I think he's just an origin player, just tough. And then you can shift in the middle for Nanai later.
I've left out Nanai and I've gone Firma and Sua.
Yeah, Sua's another one
Sua's there.
people's teams tend to forget.
I just feel like
He puts some big shots on.
I don't know
he's
if
gonna offload.
Gilbert is the answer to the second row, where like he just doesn't run a line.
Yeah.
And you've already got so many locks in that forward pack. You just need a bit more punch.
Yeah, if you want a bit more attacking flair, I can see. But Gilbert's he's just such a competitor.
Yeah.
You see what he does for Dolphins.
My only issue is, well, like I was saying, you got Tino, Gilbert, Cotter, Carrigan. Pretty much the 4 locks.
Yeah, all playing in the middle.
Yeah, that's the only one where I was like, all right. And then if you're going to go horse as well, it's like another lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then our lock is Tino.
Tino's
all
our
going
lock.
Tino. That's
Yeah.
a lock.
Yeah. If he's not lock, he'll be prop. Either or. So for the bench, I've gone Dearden at 14.
Yeah,
I think he'll
Tommy
be
Dearden.
14.
Is there any other options? Maybe if you wanted to do 2 hookers, could do Reid.
Yeah, or you go Cobbo on the bench, like we saw.
Yeah,
we
like
saw
an extra
Slater
centre
did
in
that
case there's
last
an injury.
year. But I've gone Deer, Horsburgh,
Yep.
15.
Have you gone Horsburgh as well, Mick?
Yeah, Horsburgh as well.
Yeah.
I've gone Tommy Gilbert on the bench,
Yep, like it.
I've gone Gilbert as well.
and then a smoky for me to make his debut, Trent Liero,
Ooh.
17.
If it wasn't for that Canberra game, I'd probably be like, okay, that's fair, but
Oh look,
That
I
left.
don't think one game's gonna
some
Make-
silly errors though.
like make or break his selection. I think he's just such a workhorse in the middle, and obviously he plays big minutes for Bellamy, and it's probably
I've gone towards
what you want in Queensland.
I've gone towards Nanai, and I think Lindsay Collins. We've seen what he does for Queensland. He's just literally is an origin player. I keep saying it, but
I just don't think he's played enough.
he hasn't played enough. He hasn't played great. But if you need like 20 or 30
What's been
minutes,
his injury as well?
I think it was a knee.
It was a knee,
He's coming back
MCL.
this week. So
Yeah.
if he can
big
pump
guy.
out 40, 45, I think he's a smoky. Even Fotty, I was going to go Fotty.
I think
He's
Foddy's
played
in
a
the
bit
question
better as well.
My 17 actually went Super Rogue, went Hubner. But that's probably just based on me thing with Rabbitohs.
Hubner's a future Queenslander.
Yeah,
don't
I think so,
he'll get
yeah,
He'll
picked,
play eventually.
Yeah, he'll
but
come
his defense
eventually.
is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just chops people.
But you've got you've got so many other players like Capewell, Kafusi, who's been there. Like, they might even get considered
Yeah.
for experience.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't
Or
know.
even Sue on the bench instead of
Sua.
Nanai or Gilbert.
There's a few options there for the
Yeah, they've got
Queenslanders.
options. Yeah, will be interesting to see what they do when Walsh is back and Ben Hunt. But
It's going to be a good series, nevertheless.
Looking forward to it. Yeah,
100%.
should be good fun.
I'm excited for it. Another good thing is Dabble. We had a live stream on Saturday.
Gee, they're good fun.
Huge turnout.
mate,
on
the
Saturday.
chat nearly blew up. It was that pumping. We gave
Well,
away
the chat breaks every
we gave
time.
away like 10 cash giveaways. Like,
Yeah.
it was
Huge.
insane.
Yeah.
We also have all our tips, NRL, horse racing, everything's on Dabble.
Yeah.
So if you want to sign up, use the link in our bio or the code Cast Patrol when signing up.
Yeah.
And you can find all our tips and all other tips as tips.
And we're
as
on the
well.
live stream. I'm pretty sure this Saturday or the next
Are we
one.
back again that quick?
We might be back again.
this
And we might even stream Origin as well. So, yeah, get on Dabble because a lot's happening.
Huge. Yeah.
There's a lot happening.
Remember what's gambling really costing you. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Jimmy, how about you do something different this week and you can read out who's playing and the odds? And
You
then
want me to do that?
I want you to do the honours.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Knights, $1.68, Eels, $2.20. Friday, 6 p.m.
This one's hard. This is very hard. Both teams not in great form.
Before we go on, how shit's no Thursday night footy for the
I noticed that,
NRL. There's
yeah.
NRLW, which is great, but also one of the
There's the
men's.
Origin. Yeah, women's
One of
Origin.
the men's on
Origin,
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It'll be good to see New South Wales finally win a series.
Yeah,
If they win.
Yeah, if they win.
Yes.
They're looking good though, the Blues.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, two games on Friday again, as usual. But yeah, no. So what games added?
Friday, Sunday, 6:30.
South
So there's
Tigers.
3 game Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't mind that though. Super Sunday.
Sunday,
on the couch.
6:30
Oh.
is...
But you
No
just get
good.
an extra game.
yeah, but...
It's just a bit too much viewing on a Sunday.
I know, but it's our team, so we'll watch it anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so the stat here is Eels won 6 of their last 7 against Knights.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're both not in form, any of these teams. The thing that scares me is Para have only scored over 18 twice this year. They scored 23 against Dragons round 5 and round 7 against Tigers 38. So points for both teams will be an issue in this one.
They haven't been great, Para.
No.
We know that. Last week especially, geez.
They had a few patches there.
At the end, they probably should have won the game.
Yeah. And that Yongi try at the start, that was an easy 6 points there. Like, I feel like the points are there. It's just they're not. That last pass isn't working.
Yeah, and then the Knights.
What is actually doing?
It's frustrating to watch.
What is going on?
That's
with
second half atrocious. 20-0 up against. Was it 20-0 or 26 up against Titans? Like
you got to put that game to bed.
Yeah.
Like 20-0 up at half time.
20-6, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it doesn't help this week. Obviously, Marzu's out. You got debutant on the wing, Fletcher Hunt.
He's going up against Lomax as well.
Yeah,
that's fighting for his origin spot.
It's going to be a stern test for him. He's moving some stuff around in the forwards. I think I read somewhere that he wasn't happy with the forwards off the bench last week.
And Leo Thompson's out as well. That's a big out.
Huge out.
So Frizzell goes to the middle. Adam Elliott lock.
It's a tough one to pick.
I'm gonna go Knights only because they're playing at home, and I just don't like tipping the Eels.
Yeah,
and it's Gagai's 300th.
Yeah,
it's a big
one. It's a big occasion. So yeah, I tipped Para last week, and
I think this is one that can go either way. And because they're the upset, I'm gonna go Eels. I'm not confident though. This can go either way. It's who's not gonna be as shit.
Yeah, I'll go Knights, but very low confidence.
I think try scorers. There was a few comments on the YouTube. They want to hear our try scorers for each game as well. So I think judging off Lomax going up against a debutant, that's probably a good bet to put on.
Yep. Have any stats?
And there's a stat here. Fletcher Sharp scored 4 in his last 2 NRL games.
Yeah.
And Fox has scored 6 in his last 5 NRL games. So they're the informed players.
Informed players, okay.
Hot. Those players are hot.
Like it.
But if you're looking at a juicy one here, Moses. He scored 4 in his last 4 against Knights.
Bit of value.
You're going for like a player matchup and Origin around the corner.
Mate, bit going on.
There's a lot going on. Maybe this is more of a betting game than
bit going on.
Try scoring betting game.
All right, next game Friday night. Bulldogs $1.40, Roosters $2.95. Another close game here.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Roosters coming off a bye, but Dogs have only lost 1 game all year, so it's hard to discredit them. Yeah. There is one stat though that for the Roosters fans out there. You guys have won 10 of the last 12 against the Dogs.
You guys.
You
saying that to me?
You. Yeah. I'm looking at you, Jimmy.
Is that me?
The closet Roosters fan.
Yeah, right. Chooks, they've been playing good footy. They've been playing real good footy. Coming off a bye, that helps. Gus, fresh off tying the knot as well.
Yeah.
Big occasion.
Yeah. Congratulations, Gus.
Yeah.
Well done.
So, but Dogs, after last week.
Salmon's out.
Yeah.
Curran's still out. They're a bit lacking in the middle, the Dogs, but I think they've got
a lot of good depth.
Yeah, they got some good depth.
Luke Smith, debuting off the bench, he's supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
So,
and it's just their defense. Like they've conceded 15.3 points per game on average this year.
Yeah,
it's less than 3 tries.
But when you think about it, I mean, it feels like they've been leaking points.
Yeah.
They have against the Broncos game they leaked.
And then Raiders 20-0.
20 points, yeah. But then they're keeping teams under 3 tries.
In the second half,
I'm tipping Dogs in this one. But in saying that, Roosters could do an ambush on them on the Friday night.
Yeah.
It's hard to tip against the Dogs. With
Dogs,
the forms you're seeing them
top of the ladder.
in, week out.
The fans are travelling. The fans are loving it. They're playing good footy. They're tough. They're gritty. They're brave.
Yeah.
I'm going to tip the Dogs.
It's hard to tip against them.
It is hard. But yeah, Roosters off the bye is a good factor. Just don't know if I can tip him.
Yeah, I've got to go Dogs here.
Try scorers. We got Teddy scoring 13 in his last 12 against Dogs, or in his 12 games against Dogs. It's over a try game. And then Roosters have conceded 9 tries to opposition right wingers in 9 games. So that's Carraz on the right. Outside of Critter. Carraz has scored a few tries lately as well.
A couple of Origin auditions this week.
Exactly. Which will be people usually lift around this time.
Should be good fun. All right. Saturday, 3 p.m. Dolphins, $1.95 versus Warriors, $1.85.
Yeah, was. Mate, what a team.
Flying.
What happened after that round 1 game? I don't know what Webby did, but
it was Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas got to him.
Don't worry. The Warriors are unstoppable.
They've won 4 in a row, and it's hard to tip against them, to be fair.
I'll put my hand up. I had them coming last.
Wow.
Did ya?
But
that one flew under the radar.
Even after Vegas, you're like, they actually might.
Is that why everyone thinks you hate the Wars?
Maybe.
And didn't you say Raiders were like a special?
Yeah, that was the bet of the year.
Bet
Raiders.
of the decade, you said.
Mate, that was bet of the century stuff.
Like, I think the biggest concerns of Warriors at the start of the season was they lose SJ, they lose Tohu, and they lose Fanua Blake. You can argue that they've sort of replaced them with Fisher Harris.
Aaron Clark.
Aaron Clark's really stepped up instead of Tohu.
At half's been good.
But I'm really impressed by Harris Tavita. He's stepped up too. So
he's been solid.
They've done well. I mean, not to discredit the Dolphins. I think I've said it every week, but they've always been gutsy in all their losses. Like, they should have won a few more than they have. And you saw it last week. They just showed the guts to win.
Just won.
When they probably should have lost. And it would have been another one that they just look back and go, how could we?
Isaiah Katoa, what a player he is. Like,
seriously.
he's unbelievable. How he's doing this at such a young age as well. Like, looking inside, straightening up, out
Was
the
that
back.
try?
Like,
Whose try was
one-on-one
that?
strip against Paulo. Like,
I think it went left to Bostock. It was like inside, outside.
Oh, that was
inside,
just
outside, and
special.
then just quick hands. Yeah, he's
He's
a
so
freak.
good. He's so good. But
promising signs there for Dolphins fans, but
yeah,
it's going to be tough.
There's lots to like about the Dolphins this year in terms of their backline.
They're tough. They're gritty.
They still have a few outs. Like JMK and Plath are still out.
Yeah.
I just think if they had Flegler in that pack and the way he was going, I know it's a big if, but they could have been doing something like pushing for the top 8. I just think it's a bit too far-fetched.
And Herbie's unreal. Like, Herbie's such an explosive centre. Warriors get Fisher Harris back, and RTS is lurking on the bench as well. I think he'll come in.
Yeah.
Afoa and Ford drop out. Healy joins the bench. I'm going to go Waz for 5 in a row. Up the Waz.
I think with those ins, I think it's lent me to the Waz. I think they're pretty even. Then you see Fisher Harris potentially Sheck.
But this is historically a game Waz would drop as when they're favourites. And you think they're going to win. $1.85. They might let this one slip.
They almost lost to Dragons, but they just did enough.
Metcalf field goal with 10 minutes to go. That was very smart from him.
Yeah, it was good. It was smart. Look, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm still convinced about the Wars, so I'm going to go the Dolphins.
I swear you hate them. I can see why people think you hate them.
I don't hate them.
You're not tipping the Wars.
I'm going the Dolphins.
What have Dolphins showed you?
They're tough.
Yeah, but they're not. They're
gritty.
clunky.
But
They're a bit clunky.
I think it's more so that the Wars aren't at home. But I know that they've won.
They've been all right.
2 weeks in a row. They've won outside New Zealand. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to go.
He
Dolphins.
just hates the
You
Wars.
hate the Wars. Confirmed.
I'm going to go the Finns.
Jimmy hates the Wars.
All right,
You're like
next.
Gnocchi. Gnocchi hates the Wars. Gnocchi's never picked the Wars.
Me and York. Anyway, next game,
brainwashed her.
Saturday, 5:30 p.m. Cowboys $1.68, Manly $2.20 up at Townsville.
Yeah, it's another close one. Manly won 5 last 7 against the Cows.
Yep.
But obviously Manly haven't been playing great. DC lacking a bit of form. Turbo looks bashed and bruised.
See,
Doesn't
they
look
were
the same.
flat against Sharks.
They were flat. Yeah.
Like,
it wasn't great. At 4 Pines,
I thought I was confident tipping Manly last week. I thought they were going to get the job done.
I'm never confident tipping Manly.
But they were... Like, they beat Penrith 2 weeks ago, and then they were just so flat against Sharks. Like,
But maybe Penrith's not the form line anymore.
you
know what I mean?
That could be it.
I don't think they are.
Like,
they can beat a team on their day, but they haven't been great.
They haven't been the form line. It's hard to tip Manly, but I think I'm going to do it again this week.
Oh.
Manly won 5 out of the last 7 against the Cowboys, and I think history will probably tell in this fixture. And especially, Clifford dropping out with Purdue moving into the halves.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a weird move to make.
Untested, isn't it?
When Cows were doing so well, and like that left edge of yours we were talking about last pod how it's humming, and it still was on the weekend. I think it's a weird move, but like you said, there must be something going on that we don't know.
But I think it's a good move.
Yeah,
Like,
long term probably is a good
That's
move.
probably going to be the long
Is it going to gel straight away? Like,
That's
I don't
the
know. That's
question,
why I'm hesitant, but I'm going to still tip the Cows.
Yeah.
But Manly they could win this. They could bounce back.
Manly might
Turbo
come...
could play himself into an origin jersey.
That's right.
You don't know.
Yeah, that's right. But, obviously I'm going to go the Cows.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cows. And there's a try scorer stat here. Manly have conceded 9 tries to opposition right wingers in the last 9 games this year. So Stone Street on the right. And with Stoney, he scores in doubles. I looked at his stats. When he scores, he scores 2.
Apparently,
So it'll be Derby.
So maybe...
apparently Stone Street's never scored.
Sorry. Yeah, Cowboys, yeah. Sorry, that was last week.
Yeah.
I haven't changed that name.
Yeah, Derby.
But yeah, we'll touch on Stoney next game.
Yeah, next game.
But sorry, Derby, yes.
Yeah, right. That's
Good
weird.
pickup,
But
Jim.
I was going to say
what
Stone
were you gonna
Street
say about Stoney?
has never scored a single try. He's only scored doubles.
Not this year. But I think he has early
This
in his
year,
career.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah.
Well, he
So
only scores doubles.
Yes. Or hat
Has
tricks.
this could be the yarn of the week.
he does. We'll touch on it next game. There's stats about Stoney.
right.
I've jumped the gun here.
All right.
Yeah, another
All right,
one
so
is
who are we tipping?
Saab scored 4 tries in 2 games versus Cows. Maybe we do Saab.
Yeah.
Saab's
Or
pretty
Turbo.
good. Or Turbo. 6. This is a good one. Turbo scored 6 in his 3 games at Queensland
Loves
Country
playing
Bank.
the Cows, Turbo.
He does.
Like, obviously, that try that
Country
everyone,
Bank Stadium.
You know the one when it was like game
when
over.
he
Yeah.
broke like 12 tackles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in that kind of form, but we'll see. But yeah, Cowboys for me.
Yeah.
Ages gone
Cowboys
Cows,
and
Mix
Mix
gone
gone
Manly. Next game, would you say game of the round?
Storm Sharks. It should be on paper.
Yeah. So
It should
Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Sharks 2:30 Storm, $1.62 Shark Park. This is going to be an absolute.
This is going to be a good
beauty.
game. Right before Origin, Harry Grant's lurking on the bench. Storm won 7 of the last 9 versus Sharks. Storm probably had a good record against every team in the comp.
Yeah.
Because we saw what they just did to Tigers.
So what's your Stone Street yarn?
So Stone Street,
Here we
this
go.
season, he's only scored doubles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So since round 2, he scored 8 tries and it's been 4
All
doubles. But it actually extends back to last year, except for round 7 he scored 1 try.
Yeah.
Round 22 he scored another try, but then he's now scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 doubles in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're going to bet Stoney to score, you might as
Two
well
or more.
put Stone
Yeah,
Street
two
to
or
do a
more.
double. And the bloke scored 16 tries in his 15 NRL games. So
He's a try
a serial
scorer.
try scorer.
Yeah.
So,
Back to the Storm. I mean, God, they were impressive
Yeah.
against the Tigers.
We saw
but-
that coming. Jeez.
But I swear it's happened a few times this season where, like, they'll smash a team at Amy Park and they'll go and play somewhere else.
Yeah.
And they'll either play super inconsistent footy or even lose. We saw Magic Round.
Yeah.
Even,
But I think after the way they lost at Magic Round,
Storm losing like that on Magic Round,
would've
Bellamy
got
would have
flogged.
absolutely killed him at training.
Yeah.
And then going and played Amy after that. It's sort
Mother's
of, everyone
Day.
thought it. But then the games like when they lose to Dragons in the wet and they lost to Dolphins, that's where I still have a bit of doubt. But I'm like, shit, you don't know what Storm's going to
Yeah.
produce. But
are you convinced with the Sharks though, the way they're going?
I'm not convinced,
I'm
but you know
still
what?
not
They
convinced.
keep winning.
Hines is playing good footy.
He's playing good
think
footy.
We have to credit him.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk shit about him when he's not playing good. So when he is playing
No,
good,
he's-
we have to give him credit. He's playing good footy. Trindle, on the other hand, I think he's struggling a bit. Not impressed with what I'm seeing with Tricky.
Like I think with Sharks, if Hines is on, Sharks are on.
Yeah.
And that's
And now they've
been-
got Adam Fanua-Blake as well.
Oh, Fanua Blake, yeah, exactly
So,
right.
you know, he's unstoppable in the middle. Yeah, I think Sharks are like a genuine top 8 team.
Top
Top
four?
4, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know about genuine. We'll see. Yeah, if you're picking like who's winning the comp this year, it's probably Storm Dogs at the moment, and then probably drops to another tier with like Sharks,
Raiders.
Raiders, Broncos. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
Waz.
Waz, yeah, up the Waz.
I'm still waiting for that Sharks win when they do it against a really good opposition and like do it well.
Yeah.
I just feel like the wins that they sort of had in the last few weeks
Yeah.
are just they get the job
just
done.
doing enough.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah.
just.
This is the game where we're going to be like, if Sharks are contenders or if they're just,
Yeah.
you know.
And it still like kills me that they're finding ways not to close the game out.
Yeah.
Like they were up by 6 and I'm just like, kick a field goal, end the game or something like that.
Yeah.
And they went up by 12, I'm like, just kick a field goal, make it 13,
Like they let
end the
Manly
game.
back in the game.
Yeah, they nearly let him back in. So hopefully they just learn to close out games because they're a good team. In saying that, I'm going to tip Storm.
I mean, yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
to tip
Harry
against
Grant's
the
back.
Storm.
Harry Grant's back. Pappy's flying.
Even they just won.
Bloke scored 3
by
tries in
60s.
18 minutes. Munster's playing good. Their forwards
They're
are
in good
good.
form.
Yeah, they're in really good form. Storm.
It should be a good game, but yeah, I'm going to go Storm.
Another juicy stat for those try scorers out there. Ronaldo scored 37 tries from his 35 games at Shark Park.
Loves it.
Shark Stadium, so he loves it there. So get all over that.
All right, moving on to Sunday. Broncos, $1.32. Dragons, $3.55.
Yeah, interesting one here. Dragons won 7 of their last 9 against the Bronx. So you'd probably think it's the other way around, but Dragons have had the upper hand recent history.
Okay.
Two
Yep.
teams that really need a win.
Two teams that struggle for consistency this year.
Yeah, one team more than the other. Dragons are struggling right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
They started decent. Everyone thought, okay, Dragons looking good. And now they're 13th.
They're probably dropping to where everyone sort of had
They've
them
lost,
at the
lost
start of
3
the
in a
year.
row.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've only
I had
won,
them in my
they've only
bottom
won
4.
3 games.
Not last, but bottom 4.
I had them bottom 4, or like towards the bottom, or bottom 6 maybe.
It doesn't help they're losing Couchman, especially
Couchman's
in a
their
game
best-
where
their best forward.
Hass and
He has been
Carrigan
good, hasn't he?
are going to go nuts. So.
Yeah. Ezra Mam's back.
Ezra's back. Hunt's injured, obviously.
Straight swap for Benny Hunt.
Think it complements that team a bit better. You know, Hunt and Reynolds, both similar players.
Yeah.
Now you got Reynolds.
And
with
they've
his
played so many
partner in
games
crime.
together.
Yeah.
They got to a grand final.
He's going to get a terrible reception, ma'am.
Oh, horrible.
But, he needs to let his footy do the talking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we've seen.
Well, I think he killed it in Q Cup last week. So.
Yeah, he wasn't looking the fittest, to be honest. I've seen some videos, but
Okay.
I reckon he still has his speed. Yeah, hopefully he's got his match fitness.
Anyone tipping the Dragons? The Drag Queens?
I can't do it to myself.
Oh, no, I can't.
Can't do it.
I can see an upset, but I can't tip it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going.
So
Bucks.
everyone going Brisbane.
Going Brizzy.
Yep.
All right. Sunday.
Sorry, quick stat before you go in. Stag scored 7 his last 5 games versus Dragons.
Yeah, of course.
So that's a juicy one there. It'll be decent odds.
Like it.
Tass rolled him. Just want to point that out. Sorry.
Oh, gee, that was a good try. All right. Sunday, 4 p.m. Raiders $1.33. Titans $3.30.
Can we just say Raiders and move on to the next game? Or
Does
anyone see the Titans?
I'm not tipping Titans, but I will say it was good to actually see him not just roll
Fold.
over and
Yeah.
fold. Like, they actually gave out a second half because they honestly could have lost by 50 in that game.
Yeah.
But they
Ray
said,
was
you know what,
going.
we're going to fight.
Yeah. They were
We're actually
tough.
gonna have a crack
They
here.
were tough against the Knights, but Raiders have won 5 in a row versus Titans.
Yeah.
You probably say it's going to be 6, and Titans have only won 1 of their last 6 games at GIS Stadium.
Yeah.
So they don't like the Canberra cold. From going to Gold Coast sun to the Canberra cold conditions, it's not ideal for that team.
Well, Nicholson's a huge out for Raiders. I think he's been really good for the
Yeah,
Raiders.
big loss there.
3 months.
Yeah, it's a big loss, but they get Hosking, who's probably just as
Hoskins,
good,
a
if not
ready-made
better.
replacement.
So chuck him straight in there. Sasungi joins the bench.
And then Foz is 14 for Titans.
Yes.
Yep.
He'll be good for them.
Do you reckon
Bit
you
of
like him at
experience.
14?
I'd probably rather him at 6, Brimo fullback. Oh, sorry, Foz 7, Jaden Campbell 6, Brimo fullback.
I think
The group
I think the
14.
Keeney's back not too far away. So, like, I think they're probably thinking, you know what, let's just not mess the formula too much.
And they won last week, right?
Stick with it,
And
yeah.
they did win. And they nearly beat Raiders a month ago when they played. It was like literally...
They were up.
Alan Fitzgibbon, if he didn't touch it, knock it on, they were over and they would have been up.
Well, they were 14-0 up.
Yeah. Or was that? Oh, yeah. And then,
Yeah,
but
and
then then Raiders came back and then they nearly got back
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
So they
And
can
again,
do it.
Against
They can
Dogs,
do
like,
it.
with converted tries, they would have been
Closer.
a
Yeah,
lot
and the
closer.
2 sin bins as well doesn't help.
Yeah. Everyone gone Raiders?
I'm going Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders.
All right, last game of the round, Sunday 6:30. That is absolutely gross. Tigers $1.90, Rabbitohs $1.90. Can't be split.
Can't split them, eh?
Thoughts?
South have won 8 of the last 10 against Tigers.
Okay.
But obviously we haven't been playing great this year and Tigers are a different team.
Yeah.
I think from what I saw with Trell playing like that, if he can replicate that, we beat any team. And I think we can beat the Tigers.
Yeah.
I'm liking the team they picked as well. I'm liking Keon in the middle. I'm liking Arrow in the middle.
AJ's
Hubner
back.
at lock. AJ's back.
Yeah, helps.
He's got a stat here. 11 tries in his last 6 games against the Tigers.
It's a good start.
He loves playing
Get
the
on
Tigers.
AJ. He'll be finishing.
That's a good start.
Yeah,
That's
the,
a really
the
juicy
packs
stat.
definitely helped. It helped a lot. I said it last week. I was happy to see it, like, put Keon in the middle, back to where he's sort of like the game.
Yeah.
He fights for
The
the
game comes to him in the middle, you know,
exactly.
and he's fit.
We can't
so
run
he can
away
just-
from
He
him
can
in
keep
the middle.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had like heaps of runs, over 200 run meters. Like he's forced to do work in the middle.
I think if South can get this win, it's like a massive win for our season.
Going into the
Origin.
bye
We've
as
got to
well.
buy, and then you assume that like
Yeah.
all the players that were injured, like Cody should be back, Ravalawa,
Yeah.
maybe Jack Whiten,
Maybe Munro. I don't know how far he
maybe
off
Taito.
is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a few
Yeah.
players that come back, and then hang on a minute, South are like how far
Yeah.
have you got the ladder up there?
Yeah, I got the ladder.
Where are we sitting right now?
I know we're equal with the Roosters, so because I got a bet with the workmates
Ah,
Roosters, so
okay.
I figured that out today.
Yeah.
Roosters are 9th on 10 points. We're 11th on 10 points.
So you get a win. Does that put us in the
So
8 or just
we're-
outside?
So Broncos are 7th on 10 points as well.
Where are the
So we're
Cows?
equal
so-
7th. You guys are on 11. Thanks to the draw, you're on 6. You're 6 on the ladder.
yeah. So you win this against the Tigers, you get a bye. You're in the top 8. It's a big win for our season. This.
Yeah.
And
Tigers coming off a 64-0, right? Like,
I mean, they should bounce back. It always sort of happens after a big loss.
Yeah, Luai
And
fighting for like a Blues
just-
jersey.
let's not forget, Tigers were actually really good before that Melbourne game.
but I was. They didn't show any fight against Melbourne.
Yeah, 0.
They were in Melbourne playing.
I
you know,
get
it's
that, but
tough.
like it just wasn't.
They just rolled over. I know.
I think the
but
game just sort of left them too quickly, and it
they
was
still
like,
have a
well,
much
that's
better team than like history shows.
Yeah, for
so
sure. They'll bounce back.
It'll
but,
be close.
I mean, yeah, if the market's anything
I
to
don't.
go by.
You're not tipping South. Like
I am tipping South.
Oh, every time you tip South,
Oh, he's the curse.
you're the biggest curse.
I am tipping South. Sorry, guys.
Fuck, so we're all going South. Are you sure, Jim?
I'm going South.
Wow. Okay, it's up to Gnocchi. And Gnocchi tipped 4 out of 8 last week.
So she's safe.
We said if she gets 50% or more, she's safe. One more week, she's safe.
One more week.
Are we going to give another 50%?
No, I think she's tipping better than you and Jim, so we'll keep her in.
Maybe last week against Jimmy. You didn't have your best week.
I didn't have my best. I think I got like
I'm
3 last
so
week.
ahead in the tipping comp. It's not funny.
It is not. It's not good.
all
We
good,
gotta come back.
Not for everyone.
All right, listener questions to end us off.
Listener questions, yep. First one at Dre_Falanico. With JFH and RTS coming back in the Warriors side, are they unstoppable?
I don't think they're unstoppable, but it's two big inclusions.
Like the way they've been going well without these guys.
Yeah.
So
Massive inclusion, Fisher Harris. Sheck, 50-50 if he plays or not. But I think they're going to be too good for the Finns, you'd hope. Yeah. And the Wires are so good. What are they coming? Second or something?
no.
Third.
Third, yeah. Top 4.
Yeah, it's almost like 2023 all over again.
Maybe
so
not second.
yeah.
Yeah, they're going well. Next one at Troy Mustafa. Does Jimmy hate the Wires, mate?
Wires are second.
Are they?
Yeah, 16 points.
I was going to say because
They won 7 games. They lost only 2 games.
Who'd they
So
lose
Jimmy,
to?
why do you hate the Wires?
I don't hate the Wires.
Who Warriors lose to? They lost in Vegas. Who's the other one?
They lost in Vegas and they lost one they shouldn't have lost. It was Tigers or
I
something.
think I tipped them, eh?
Was it Tigers?
No, it wasn't Tigers.
Wasn't Tigers?
It was in New
Well,
Zealand.
we've got to scroll 4 weeks away because they won
It was
4
in
in
New
a row.
Zealand.
Storm.
Yeah.
There you
Oh, no,
go.
it was at Amy Park, yeah,
Park,
when they
Storm.
got pumped. Yeah.
Yeah. So besides that
They've been
first
actually
round
really
1
good.
hiccup, they've only lost to Storm, which
They
is
won
really
7
good.
games.
And so what makes you hate them, Jim? Tall poppy syndrome, how they're so good? You just
No, I
don't
love
like
them. I love the fans.
Okay.
I love the Wires.
So you don't hate them?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Next one at Kobe_H26. Will Tigers still make the 8?
Well, they're
Where are
10th
they?
at the moment, equal 7th.
I don't think you can rule them out.
Still a shot.
Gun to my head, if I had to pick in or out, I'm saying out. Just on, I don't know if they can keep it going, that momentum the whole season. Let's not forget they went back to back wooden spoons.
Yeah.
So
They got better players. Like Appy probably won't play Origin. Bull is playing good. Terrell May's good. He'll go to Origin. They've got good players there. And Luai. I'll quickly read a few of their games and you tell me if they're going to win or lose. Rapid fire.
Yep.
So South this week.
let's say lose.
You say they'll lose. Next week they have a bye. I think they'll beat them. Cowboys.
No.
Where at?
Queensland Country
Lose.
Bank. Lose. Next game. Panthers at Combank.
Probably lose.
Probably lose. Game after that, bye. They win that.
Wow, that's 2 quick buys.
Yeah. Raiders.
Tough game.
Where
Tough.
at?
Campbelltown Sports.
Maybe.
And then they got Manly at Four Pines.
They've
Then
got
they
a
got
tough
Roosters
run.
at Allianz.
They've got a real tough run here.
Warriors at Go Media.
Yeah, it's a tough run.
This gets worse. Okay, Gold Coast at Leichhardt.
Yeah.
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 And Panthers again.
Tough run.
So judging on that, I'm going to say no. But before I was looking at it, I thought maybe yes. That's scary. That is
Wow,
scary.
that's actually huge.
They've got to win these periods between the buys.
Yep. Next one at Nate Murray 0212. What do you think needs to improve at the Broncos?
I think it's the chemistry, isn't it? Like they got the players on paper. I think they got to sort out their spine. Mam at 6 is different. Hunt when he comes back, put him at 9
Walsh
maybe
at
or
fullback.
14. Walsh at fullback. Yeah, and maybe just show a bit more determination and grit. Like they got the players.
I think it's like take away Haas and Carrigan, their packs not doing much. Like you look at the numbers that those two are putting up each week, and you're almost thinking, what are the rest of the pack doing? Like Ricky's probably
Piakura.
had one of his best things, but that left edge Tyrone Willison there, Piakura, like none of them are just
Piakura played decent last week.
Piker has been good.
Yeah, but he needs to do it more consistently.
more
and
like-
Ricky has to find his form.
I think
that
they
he
need
started
some more.
with.
like
Like
Hetherington. They
Hetherington.
They need another middle. Like
Jensen.
Jensen's a bit one-dimensional.
Like they need a bit more impact. A bit more punch.
Bit of a punch, eh?
Because like
in the
Haas
middle.
and Carrigan can't go on forever.
No,
and
they play like 65, 70 minutes, but
like the work that they're putting in, week out, it's like it's not sustainable.
no.
Like there has to
Especially
be another
during
player.
Origin. Like their minutes, they're gonna have to play 55, 60 when they come back max, and then these other players are gonna have to fill in. So,
Yeah. So I think they need to find some consistency.
would you put Willison back on the bench in the middle and leave Piakura edge? So then that's your punch.
I don't know if that experiment's worked out. Like I think they were like, oh, let's get this big boy running at smaller players.
Scored a few tries, but
But in terms of work rate, it's not there.
Yeah, I don't
He's more of
know.
a prop. Is Takura still playing?
yeah,
Yeah, I think maybe he's in
I think
cup.
he's injured.
I feel
I
like
don't know.
he could come on and be
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, I think it's more just their chemistry in the spine and getting the positions right.
Yeah. Last one for this week at Lincoln Bauer 1. Should Dan Atkinson be dropped and Sharks revert to a 4 forward?
Is this your burner account, Jimmy? Because you've been screaming for this to happen.
You said this a few times.
I know. I think so. I just unless there's like some injury to the back line, which you're probably not accounting for. Like he's not making an impact for you off the bench.
And he's not even with them next year. So it's not like you're developing him.
So I think they should. Like, if in a fully fit Shark side, I don't think he should make the 17.
Yeah.
I think 2 weeks ago he wasn't there. I think he was 18th man against Para, I believe.
Yeah.
When they had the 4 forwards, and I thought that worked a lot better.
Yeah.
There's just a period when he's on the field, they got Brayley on the field, and they sort of just get dominated in that middle. So,
And they take Fanua Blake off
and
too.
if Fanua Blake's not on the field,
Well, now that Wilton's returning, would you just put Wilton second row, Burns to the bench, and just have Burns as the backup, or do you want another middle?
like how Tapu is there, like
Yeah.
right, he's there, like he's
Yeah,
in and
he's
out
there.
of the
He's
side.
19th man there.
So I'd have just another middle on the bench.
So you'd go Talakai
Yeah.
and then 3 middles.
3 middles.
Yeah. Okay, fair. Yeah, I feel like he's good cover for the backs, but they're just putting him on in the middle, and it's just like a bit clunky.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see why Fitzo has him there, but yeah, maybe a team like against Melbourne, it's a good time to have 4 middles and
Yeah,
counter their
up
big
against
pack.
a big pack. Yeah.
Like Steph Nelson's probably going to be put on that team as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, there you go. That will do us. Anything else before we pack up, boys? Any last messages?
Stream on Saturday, maybe.
Yeah,
Keep
potential
you-
stream. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Follow us on Double for all tips.
Origin
NRL,
teams on Sunday.
Origin. Yeah, Origin Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot happening.
Next
This-
pod, we'll be talking about the team selected.
Yeah, we'll be critiquing Laurie
Yeah.
Daly and Billy Slater's picks. Yeah.
Should be good fun.
But hopefully enjoyed the pod, and we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See you guys.
See you guys.